Hey guys, this is Candle and welcome to a special post-Christmas gaming pickups video. I did not think I was going to be doing one here in December because, as some of you may know, if you watched the end of my last one, my TV died back towards the end of November, and I had to buy a new one, which cost a huge amount of money, and I wasn't sure I was going to be able to pay off my credit card by the end of the year. However, my dad did something special for Christmas this year that kind of precipitated this. And before we get to that, though, I did end up buying some games myself. I went to GameStop the other day and picked up 6 games or so because they were running a buy two, get one free on pre-owned stuff through the end of the year, I believe. And so let's just go ahead and get into it. So first up, I got Sonic Colors for the DS. I have Sonic Colors for the Wii, and I have Sonic Colors Ultimate, which is the remaster of the Wii version. I've never played the DS version. This is more, classic 2D Sonic, and it's kind of the same story as the Wii game. So I'm definitely interested in trying this out at some point, taking a deeper look at this. I do enjoy Sonic games, as you guys well know, so definitely glad to add that to my collection. Another one I've been wanting for a while and just hadn't really found a copy in the wild much, is Sifu for the PS4. This is a third-person 3D brawler, beat 'em up game, where it's got an interesting mechanic where every time you die, you respawn, your character ages up a little bit, which means that your attacks get more powerful, but also you become more of a glass cannon. You can't take as much damage. So it kind of becomes this give and take, where every time you fail a mission, you come back to repeat it. You're older, you're wiser, you're stronger, but also, your enemies are basically stronger in return. You can't take as much damage. So I'm definitely interested in trying this game out. I've known about this game for a while and just hadn't really gotten around to it. And then when I saw the animated short in Netflix's, what was it, Level Up series, based around Sifu, I was like, I really should play this game at some point. So when I saw it at GameStop, I was I had to get it. Another one I got is the Uncharted Legacy of Thieves collection for the PS5. So this is Uncharted 4: Thief's End and The Lost Legacy packaged together, ported over to the PS5. And I'm definitely interested in replaying these at some point. I never did play The Lost Legacy for the channel, so I might do that at some point. The only issue is I can record in HDR, and I would prefer to play in HDR, but I don't know too much about mastering videos in HDR, uploading them in that like that, and I don't know how well it's going to look if I play it in HDR but still record in standard dynamic range, SDR. So we'll have to see. Maybe I'll use this as a test bed for that. I don't know. Other than that, I did pick up some Xbox One games. First off, this was not the edition I had originally grabbed and taken to the counter. You know how GameStop is. Sometimes when they have multiple copies of a game, they've got them boxed behind the counter, so they'll just pull out the box with the game already in it rather than hunting down the disc to go in the empty box that was on the shelf. So this is Dead Rising 3. This is the Apocalypse Edition. I keep holding it over here because I'm used to the camera being over here. I haven't moved it back. I've been face camming my Let's Plays recently, and it's a lot easier to have it straight on. So this is Dead Rising 3. I think this was a launch title or a launch window title for the game. However, this is the Apocalypse Edition, so it includes 4 game add-on packs. I don't know if the code is still viable. Probably not, because this would have been like a pre-order edition, whatever. And so I do have the insert in here with the code. I'll have to see if I can get that or not. It's probably, it just says new weapons and vehicles, so it's like nothing really huge there. I've never really played a Dead Rising game before. I've kind of been interested in them over the years. However, the timing aspect of Dead Rising 1 and 2 especially has always kind of turned me off from it. But I would like to give them a try at some point. So I might get the Dead Rising remaster at some point, or go back and try to get the original 2 as well. So I know Dead Rising 4 wasn't very good, and that's what kind of killed it. So another one that wasn't the same copy I had pulled up and taken to the counter BioShock the Collection for Xbox One. This is a later printing after the Xbox Series X came out, you know, where they started rebranding everything. So this is exclusively for the Xbox One. It will play on Xbox Series X and S. The copy I'd taken was in an original, you know, Xbox One case. But when they pulled this one, I was like, okay, whatever. So something I didn't realize is this is actually a 2-disc set. So you've got one disc with BioShock 1 and 2 remastered. These are the remasters, I believe. And then one disc with BioShock Infinite, which never got a remaster, just got ported over. Because it was new enough. You know, BioShock 1 came out in 2007, I believe. BioShock 2 in 2010. And then BioShock Infinite was 2012, 2013. I can't exactly remember. So I do want to play the remasters at some point, because I've never played the remasters. And something else I remembered was, just like I never Let's Play Lost Legacy, because that came out when I was on one of my hiatuses, I've never done a Let's Play of the Burial at Sea DLC stories for BioShock Infinite, which kind of ties it back into BioShock 1 and 2 by taking you back to Rapture. So I might do that at some point as well. So we'll see in the future. So lastly from GameStop is a game I had originally bought new and traded it in. You guys know I don't normally do that. However, this is Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. And the reason why I traded in was because I had originally accidentally bought the Xbox One version, not knowing that the Xbox Series X version was not on the disc and it would not download properly. You know, there was no way to download it. You had to buy the Xbox Series version, you know, with a Xbox Series in the front. Here, let me see if I can grab it off the shelf and show you. Where is it? There it is. So yeah, here we go. So this is the Xbox Series version. This has the Xbox Series X version either on the disc or it downloads it via smart delivery, either way. And it says, you know, Xbox Series X up on the top and Xbox Series X plus Xbox One games included. This version doesn't say that. It doesn't have any of that. This is the Xbox One version. It will play on Xbox Series X through backwards compatibility, but you miss out on like all the ray tracing lighting features and stuff like that. So even on the back, you know, it calls out Ultra HD, you know, 4K, HDR10 video, Dolby Atmos, and so on, because this was optimized for Xbox One X. However, the Xbox Series version on the back, you know, specifically calls out optimized for Series X. So glad to add this back to my collection. I wasn't originally going to do that, and then I saw it cheap. And, you know, again, the only reason why I did it was because I have my Xbox Series X and Xbox One collections separated now. Back when the Series X first came out, I had them all mixed together because at the time, like, all the Xbox Series X games played on Xbox One. It was just not as visually stunning version. And, you know, Xbox was doing this whole thing where, oh, you know, it's not a new generation. It's just a more powerful Xbox. You can still play all your old games and everything. And I feel like that is part of what bit them in the ass. And plus the push to Game Pass, devaluing their games and such. So to the point that you can no longer find Xboxes at certain store chains like Costco. And the Xbox physical market is for new games is like almost non-existent. Like nobody, Xbox doesn't put, you know, Microsoft doesn't put out for their first party games physically on Xbox anymore. Most third parties aren't doing that either. So it's still weird and stuff like that. And I do think that Microsoft will put out one more Xbox generation. However, I feel it's going to be the last one. With everything they're pointing, you know, all the rumors and everything pointing to this being some kind of console PC hybrid. And you can already kind of see that with the Xbox Ally X, which is just an Xbox branded ROG Ally and stuff like that. So we'll see what happens. But I really do feel like after this next generation, it's just going to be Sony and Nintendo, because Nintendo's always going to do their own thing. You know, they've been smart enough to not really release any of their games outside of Nintendo platform. So, you know, you always have a reason to come back. And unlike Xbox, you know, Xbox could have done much better if they just managed to get all of their games out in a timely fashion and have them be good. But their games just keep getting stuck in development hell. And when they come out, they're mediocre at best, like Redfall, which I still need to play at some point. Anyways, that is it for the stuff I picked up at GameStop. Oh, my piece of paper privacy shield fell. So on to what my dad did for me for Christmas, which was really, really, oh my God, amazing. And I really love him for this and thank him so much, especially because they moved across the country back in May, and I went and saw them in the summer, and I've been keeping in regular contact with them, talking over the phone every couple weeks or so. But I do miss my parents, and so they ended up sending me something that my dad found in a shop, and it's I am still amazed that he found this, and amazed that I didn't already have this kind of stuff. So everything's like, this is all down here on the floor instead of like on my desk to this side, because I went out and bought myself a Christmas present yesterday. I bought a UCS Ultimate Collector Series X-Wing from Lego, because I found out that they're being retired here in the new year, and I've had my eye on this for a while. So this is, partway through, maybe like a third of the way through. I've gotten most of the fuselage done here. So yeah, that's what's covering up most of the rest of my desk here. So anyways, my dad sent me Pitfall and Video Chess for the Atari 2600, or the Atari Video Computer System as it was originally called. These are the cartridges in the boxes. There's no manuals, but it's still the original box and stuff like that. I'm a little worried that the discoloration here might be mold, but I think it'll be okay. I think it'll be okay. I already ordered some box protectors, so it'll go in that anyways. So yeah, definitely glad to add these to my collection. I did not already have an Atari. I have never collected Atari. I've never played Atari. I've only ever seen videos, so I'm definitely glad to add these to my collection. And you would think that means I have to go out and buy an Atari now, but no, because my dad did more than just send me 2 games. He sent me this. Now, apparently the guy he bought this from said that this was originally sold in Sears, but this is an actual Atari carrying case with an Atari 2600. This is a later model one, so it's a 4-switch instead of a 6-switch, but it's an Atari 2600 with the wood grain on the front and everything, and there's like 17 loose game carts in here. So just going down the list again, we have Air Sea Battle, Asteroids, Breakout, Defender, Demon Attack from Imagic, which is kind of a weird, weirdly shaped cartridge with this little spike here. Donkey Kong and Edie's Mousetrap from Coleco. So these were apparently published, manufactured by Coleco, but again, it's for use on the Atari Video Computer System, says it on the front. Mountain King, Pac-Man, Smurf, Rescue in Gargamel's Castle. So this was from the Smurfs show. Space Invaders, Squeezebox, Stampede, Video Pinball, Zaxxon, and then Raiders of the Lost Ark, and 34 telegames. I'm not entirely sure what this is. It says interplanetary ballistic missiles, anti-ballistic missiles, and it says something about Missile Command as a trademark copyright of Atari. So I don't know if this is a Missile Command clone. I don't know if there's actually 34 games in here or not. And the reason I don't know that is because I do not currently have a way to play this. So I'm very much glad to get it, because it also came with, 2 joystick controllers and a pair of paddle controllers with the dial and everything. And it's everything you need to hook the system up and play it on an old TV from the late 70s, early 80s. So, the Atari. It predates composite video. In fact, composite video was still new enough that when Nintendo released the NES in North America, they put composite video ports on it, but your standard way to hook it up was through RF. There was an RF adapter that plugged into the system, and you would then hook that into your coaxial cable. Well, this also ran through RF, or radio frequency, but... Oh, no, that's the power. That's the power brick. But the plug was hardwired in. It's a standard RCA jack, and this will not work in a composite video input. However, this did come with an RF adapter. It plugs in here. You can see it goes to the computer. You can switch it between computer and TV. Problem is, this is meant to hook into your antenna. You plug you wire your antenna in here. This will go to the TV. And I don't have a TV that has old school antenna hookups like this. So it doesn't plug into my modern TVs. It doesn't plug into the old CRT I have in the closet. So thankfully they offer, on Amazon you can get them for like $5 for a pair of RCA to coaxial adapters. And I have those on order. It hasn't gotten here yet, but I have that on order. And so that's how I will, hook this up and play it and stuff like that. So other than that, I haven't had a chance to play this yet. But I'm still very thankful to my dad for finding this and sending this. This is amazing. Thank you so much. Now I have to figure out how I'm going to fit all of this on my shelves. Also, the same thing I said about video chess, worry about mold. And it could just be because these are like so old. It could just be age. But yeah, here's Pac-Man. You can see the discoloration a bit on the label. Also, so yeah, some of these I might end up wanting to replace just to try to get them in better condition. Specifically, where'd they go? Here they are. Specifically these two, Raiders of the Lost Ark and 34 Telegames, because there's no end labels on them anymore for some reason. I don't know what happened there, but there's no end labels on them, so you can't really know what they are at a glance outside of, on the shelf. You're not going to know what they are like this. So we'll see. Anyways, I am still very much glad to have this. Thank you so much, Dad, for a wonderful, wonderful Christmas, even though we couldn't be together. Yeah, I need to put this down now. So that is it. So that now leaves my collection well past my original goal for this end of the year of 1,250 games. I am currently at 1,299. I thought about waiting and like heading out to get like one more game. You'll notice I didn't get any of the Nintendo Switch 2 games that came out recently, mostly because I was still waiting for, to pay off my TV and stuff like that. So expect more gaming pickups videos in the next year. Picking up some of those like Metroid Prime 4, Kirby Star Riders, probably the Hyrule Warriors game. I need to get the others as well. I still need the Switch version of Hyrule Warriors, Definitive Edition, and then the Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity, which I don't think is considered canon, although Age of Imprisonment is. It's like that is, the prelude to Tears of the Kingdom and so on. So anyways, that is it for now. I will see you guys next time. Thanks for watching. Please remember to comment, rate, and subscribe.